Hey everybody, welcome back. Beer League post-game show. Week one's in the books for our new season already. And, we faced off here in the first week against the Ice Raiders. And last season they just, they ended up dropping out of the league. They, usually one of the more competitive teams too, but they just could not, have enough people to, show up to their games. So, you have that sometimes. I'm glad they're back. Personally, because you never want to see teams drop out of the league. You definitely want to see. It's better to see teams keep being added to it. Once teams start leaving, that's usually a bad sign. But they're back, and I think two of the first impressions of this season, for me, was the first one was us in the locker room. Just right off the bat, you notice the guys that are missing from the team from last season. I got to give a shout out to them guys again. Matt Bonanno, Ed Leitner. You got Brad Updegrave. It's just that's tough losing people like that in an off season. Chris Fagan also. Don't want to forget anybody, but yeah, it's just you look around and you're it's just not the same right off the bat. You gotta start developing that chemistry with a new team and getting everybody to kind of really throw their input in there, and that's what we did great at the end of last season. So that was one of the things that kind of jumped out of me just to start the season. And the next thing was when we headed out on the ice. You could tell the Ice Raiders they reloaded, they rebuilt. They had 16 people on the bench. I think we had 10. And like I said, they're always a tough team. They got some, I call them heavy hitters. They got some guys that can fire the puck, way above, I'd say, average, anyways. So they showed up with like a full crew. They had 16 guys, and they had 16 pretty solid guys. I think they had about 6 or 7 guys that were probably like I don't know how you say maybe threats to score or just had a good shot in general, but they could put the puck on the net. That was for sure. So they came out, a lot of people, and they're always a tough team. They give us problems all the time, and usually have good goaltending. They got their same goalie back, and like I said, they added some players, so they were pretty deep on the bench. So. And we're trying to find ourselves now as a new team. So right at the start, they scored a couple minutes in. It was one where I made a save. The guy was coming down on my blocker side. He got inside the circle. I mean, it was a pretty point blank look he had at me. I made the save, kicked it into the corner, and got some traffic in front of the net. And he fed it to the guy. I think I kicked around, and that guy might even shot between somebody's legs, and I don't know, went up over my glove. I got a piece of it, but not enough, so the Ice Raiders took a 1-0 lead there early first, and it wasn't the kind of start you want as a goalie. You got to clean them up in front of the net, and that's something we're just going to keep working at. So they took the 1-0 lead, but we battled back unassisted. Todd Forey, first stinger goal of the new season. Todd, he's back on defense. But he's a playmaker offensively, too. I don't know if everybody can see that, but I see it pretty much every time he touches the puck. Like, when he really makes a point to try to get some offense generated, he can do it. And kind of wrap around there. Goalie lost sight of it behind the net. I think Todd might have faked him out and came back around the goalie's blocker side and just throw that in home there for the first stinger goal of the season. Todd's first of the season. And we tied it up at 1, so we're right back in the game. But late first period, Ice Raiders they struck again, and it was a pretty similar play to the first one. Now I don't remember if I made an initial save or what happened. I just remember that the puck it got thrown back out into the slot, pretty close. I mean, they were, I'd say, within about seven feet of the crease, and there's a guy between me, and I couldn't quite see it. I was kind of screened, and blocker side in the corner. It's one of them ones, even if I seen it, I might have got a piece of it, but they picked the corner on both of them first 2 goals pretty nice, so good goals, and tough ones to stop, but still, I think we got to clean that up in front of the net a little bit. So we're back down 2-1 now, and that's the end of the first period. First period was we settled in there. I think we weathered the storm. They came out pretty hot. We fought back and kind of settled the game down a little bit. So we're down 2-1. Second period, John Bauer, I think it was off a really nice pass from Alex Schmedick. And the second assist, I think, went to Ben Bauer. But John caught the pass coming straight down the center of the ice and kind of, I think he faked the guy, and he just tried to sprawl out, but he was beaten, and John finished. And John's good for pretty much, you give him an opportunity, he's going to score. He's learned to go-to guys, and definitely a goal scorer for us. So John Bauer got his first goal of the season. And like I said, on the assist was Alex Schmedick and Ben Bauer. So we got 2-2 score now, and later second period, they had just a strange play. I don't recall ever having one of these happen to me, but it was like a pass across crease or something like that. They were on my blocker side, and they passed it back over to my glove side, and the guy, I think, one-timed it, and it went off the post, and I couldn't find it, and it actually, the rebound went directly back to his stick. Just as I collected myself, I waved the glove at it, but it beat me over my glove. So Ice Raiders are up 3-2, and that's after the second period. Real fast-paced game. A lot of shots on goal. We'll get to that in a little bit. But now we go into the third period, and you'd think they'd have the advantage. I mean, they have 16 guys to our 10. I think they're going to tire us out, but it didn't happen. 3-2. Late third, after a pretty hard-fought third, I thought our defense did a great job keeping them away from me. I think they got a lot of their shots first and second period. But I'm going to have to say play of the game. Crazy Matt. He made a hustle play. If you get a chance to go watch back the game, which I'll leave a link to that game in the description of this video. Matt just made a hustle play. Like, he came all the way across ice. This guy was on a breakaway, and nobody had any business catching this guy. And Matt chased him down. Now, I think the guy faked me pretty hard on the breakaway. Like, I didn't commit to anything, and he just, like, he kind of, like, he did, like, a hockey stop there and somehow pulled it back. I think I did get the stick on the puck just a little bit, just enough to hold him off for a second when Matt came down and got him from behind and just hurried him, bothered him there, and he couldn't put it in. And if it wasn't for Matt, he would have definitely scored on that play. And I think we would have went on to lose this game. But hustle play of the night, you got to give Matt 3 stars for that. That was that's what the Stingers are all about. We're all about scrappy hustle, let's get it done type shit, and that's what Matt did there. And that there's the kind of play I just love to talk about, because as a goalie, you just love when your players in front of you play like that. And Matt, big play, great job on that, never giving up. And that would have been a goal. So, got denied on that play, and that brings us to the big play, late third now. I mean, we're still in a chance to win this game, or at least tie it. Down 3-2. I mean, we would have been down 4-2, but because of that play, now we're only down 3-2. And late third, about a minute and a half left, I get off the ice, extra attacker, and it ain't long. You got Steve Shander, first goal of the season for Steve. If there's a goal to be had in a big moment, Steve's probably going to get it. And that was assisted by Ben Bauer to tie it at 3 late third period. So we battled back just like the Stingers always do. We never give up. And now we're tied 3-3 in this game. So yeah, you got Matt making that big play. Steve putting that goal in, tying up at 3 late third. And that's the way the game ended up finishing in a 3-3 tie. So I thought adding a new player or two, we had a couple people missing. I thought it was pretty encouraging our first night going up against that team, because make no mistake about it, even though them guys dropped out of last season, they're, in my eyes, they're a contender this season. That's a team loaded from top to bottom, good players, good goaltending, so they're going to be tough to beat. So for us to come out and get that tie, I think that was a pretty decent start for us. Obviously, you want to get the win, but to walk away with a point in your first game, still a pretty good feeling now. Let's look at the game stats here. The total shots I was talking about earlier. We had 34. They had 33, so I had 30 saves in that game. 30 out of 33, their goaltender stopped 31 of 34. So good opening nights for the goalies too. I mean, you definitely want to get that win, but still an encouraging night for everybody to start off the season. Now, our stats, I went over the scoring summary, but let's just go over the stats themselves. Ben Bear, 2 assists on the night. John Bauer, John finished with 1 goal. Alex Schmedick, 1 assist. Steve Shander, the game-tying goal. And Todd Forey, that goal wraparound in the first period to get our first goal of the season. So I thought there was a lot of encouraging signs to start this season off. We had a new player, Scott. He looked pretty good in his debut too. Definitely encouraged by that. You know, you want to look and kind of compare. Is he filling in for this guy? Is he filling in for that guy? Because we lose a few people, pick up a few people, and you're hoping they're at least taking their place. And I thought Scott looked pretty solid out there. From what he told us, it was his first time really getting out there skating in a while. So it was encouraging that he looked the way he did, and that was a good start for him. Like I said, though, all in all, good performance for us to open the season. And it's good to be back playing some regular season games here again now after our run last season. And we're moving on. We got a game coming up next week, and we'll be playing, it's a new team. It used to be the Skulls, now I believe they're called Bauer Grill or something along them lines. So we know what kind of team they are, and they're going to be tough. They got some good goaltending, some good goal scorers, and I think they opened their season with a win. So we want to get our first win this week, and I think we got some good players to do it. And then there was a couple scratches from this game. Now, let me throw that in. Can't remember all of them, but I definitely know defensively Brian Spengler, he was missed. Brian wasn't there for the opening game, and Eric Halen. Eric wasn't there either, so it's at least 2 guys off the top of my head that I know are back that just could not make the game. So we did have a couple people missing, and that makes a difference. So I think going forward here, first game, my first look at this season, I guess you'd say. Very encouraging. I like the flow of the game. I thought we got a lot of shots on net. I think our defense was pretty strong. We kept them at bay there for the most part. They did get them 2 rebounds, and then, well, actually 3 they kind of put in, like, they're pretty close range. But I think overall we did a really good job defensively and offensively. So I think there's good things to come for us this season. And we definitely want to go into this second weekend and get our first W. So once again, I appreciate everybody watching. Until next time, I'll see you later, guys.